Dragons Live, presented by Form Communications.
Hello everyone, I'm John Webby Webking alongside Tommy Thompson, and welcome to Dragons Live. On today's show, we're recapping our winter season sports and looking ahead at the already swinging spring season.
Let's start with women's basketball, who claimed the NSIC North Division title this season, their first since 2005, and reached the 20-win plateau for the first time since 2009. To help wrap us up the season is head coach Carla Nelson.
So, what does the rally of winning seasons and the 20-win season kind of mean to the women's basketball program?
Well, I think first, 20 wins for this group was outstanding. 20 wins is always that mark that every program shoots for. It kind of puts you in the upper tier of, hopefully it puts you in the upper tier of your league, but yet it kind of is a standard of a great season, is that 20-win mark. 16 winning seasons in a row. I think Allison Swenson told me that we're one of 8 programs in all of Division II that have had 16 straight winning seasons. So that's a great recruiting tool. I didn't realize that. And you're talking about 297 schools or 87 schools, and we're among 8 that have had 16 straight winning seasons. So certainly, it's a compliment to the players. The players are the ones that do all the hard work. And it's a compliment to the people that you work with.
Let's look back at the last year. What would you say would be your favorite moment from the whole year?
Well, definitely that Crookston game. That Crookston game where we got a share of the North title. The last 50 seconds of that game were pretty dramatic. Crookston took the lead, then we come down, Drew Santis hits a big shot. I still can remember it. Crookston is taking the ball out of bounds, and Cass Thorson gets a big steal for a layup. And then it just came down to, I think Morgan Benasic hitting some free throws for us. And just the expression on the players' faces to know that they had clinched a share of the North title was such a big accomplishment, because we had been playing for that, I think, for the 3 weeks prior to that game. Every game was a playoff game for us. So I just thought how they handled themselves at the end of the season was truly remarkable. But to see them be able to cut down the net, and again, just their faces and expressions, and just the emotions that go with clinching that title, since we hadn't got a share of a title or a title since 2004, was a great accomplishment.
Now, 2004, I believe your assistant coach Allison Swenson was on that team.
Yep.
I mean, this team has a very different DNA than that squad. How different is it to see this squad get that accomplishment versus that squad back then?
Well, that 2004-2005 team was loaded, extremely talented, very athletic, very deep. We were ranked number 2 in the region that year. This team, a little bit different. We're not as athletic, not as, I would say, fancy, but we were that workman type team that everybody could appreciate, because we went out and really believed in defending and rebounding, and that's the way we were going to have to win. And I thought we embraced that. People rooted for us, really wanted us to accomplish some big things. And I look at that team, they were the 2004 was the Cadillac. This year's team was the 1979 Chevy Impala, which I always tell the girls. But they really embraced that. And but I think that when I look at this year's team, you don't have to be overly talented to win. You have to play together. You have to play together well. And you have to get the most out of the kids that you can, and they have to believe and trust in your staff and each other. And I actually believe that that's what they did, and that's why they ended up with 21 wins and a heartbreaking loss down at the Sanford Center.
Well, let's have some fun and focus on next year then.
Yeah.
What does next year's team look like, and what do the fans expect to see from Dragon women's basketball?
I think next year you really need to look at Drew Santis stepping up and playing a big role for that group. Drew Santis, Cass Thorson, and Jackie Volkert and Natalie Van Wy will be the 4 mainstays that come back and really anchor that group, because otherwise you're looking at 7 incoming freshmen And, we're going to have a lot of youth. But the one thing I think people will notice is that, we're going to be a much bigger team in the sense we're going to be extremely long and a little bit more athletic. But again, we're going to be a little more youthful. So it'll be a work in progress. But, on paper, athletically and talent-wise, we can be pretty good. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but we could be pretty good.
Thanks again to Coach Nelson for your time and congratulations on a great year. Let's take a look at the overall accomplishments of this squad. They won the NSIC North Division for the first time since the league split into divisions. They surpassed a 20-win mark since the 2008-9 season. 16 straight winning seasons under head coach Carla Nelson. Stracy and Bonasic each NSIC first team, and MSUM was ranked as high as 7th in the Central Region this season.
Still to come on Dragons Live, we've got head coach Chad Walthall joining us in studio to recap the men's basketball season. That's coming up next.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Mr. Goldman loved his family a lot, didn't he, Dad?
He sure did.
That's why he had State Farm life insurance, like you. So his family never has to worry, right?
Mr. Goldman didn't have life insurance.
Why not?
He's just a goldfish.
Ignore him.
Call State Farm agent David Eggers in Moorhead today so your family won't have to worry about whether you have life insurance.
We put the life back in life insurance.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. Earlier we caught up with Coach Nelson and talked women's basketball. Now let's switch over to the Dragon men, taking a look at the long list of accomplishments. Men's basketball qualified for the NCAA tournament for the second straight year. That's 3 times in 4 years. Won the NSIC North Division title for the 3rd straight year. Recorded back-to-back 30-win seasons. Isaac Sievely, Tanner Kretschmann, all NSIC, and I know Isaac will be playing in the Reese's Division II All-Star game coming up here shortly. We're joined, luckily, in studio here by head coach Chad Walthall. Coach, first of all, tell us a little bit about this team and their growth from beginning of the year to the last game.
I think one of the best things about this team is they really never looked back on a season ago and thought it was good enough. They wanted to equal last year's season. I thought that they handled themselves really well early in the year. I thought our guys came back with a vengeance, wanted to set different goals, new goals, and because of their practice habits and the way they approached each practice, they were able to have a really, really terrific season. Another 30-win season for us, and just really the way our guys improved throughout the year. I thought this was a team that would improve after Christmas quite a bit, because we had guys in different positions. We had guys that were in major roles that weren't in major roles a year ago, and I thought they handled themselves really well. And we did improve throughout the year. We ran into a little bit of some injury business down the home stretch, but other than that, it was really a real smooth year for us, and I couldn't be happier about our play. And there's only one team that unfortunately ends up winning their last game.
And I know the last game probably didn't end up the way you wanted. The goals that you talked about was probably getting as deep as last year, of course, was an expectation. Talk about the end of the year and some of the injuries and kind of what played into, unfortunately, being out early in the tournament.
Well, it's really tough because, anything, once you get to regions, anything beyond that is almost gravy because, every team is really equal footing and very talented, and it's on a neutral floor. So you really have to get your best foot forward, whether it's being everyone healthy or you're really shooting the ball well or you're playing your best defense of the year. You have to rebound well. You have to take care of the ball. You have to do everything really, really well in order to advance. If you don't do everything well, it's a little bit different than sometimes in the regular season because you can get by with maybe doing a few things well and still winning. And the NCAA tournament's not going to happen that way. Unfortunately, we ran into some injuries. Obviously, Gijel Sungola broke his finger, which, he was out 4 to 5 weeks. We were fortunate enough to get him back. But again, he hadn't been playing with the team, and so that was a kind of a new deal. And then, the last week of the year, obviously, Ayub goes out, and he was a critical part to our season, averaging 12 points a game, coming off the bench, and then he was in a starting role when Gijel went out. So with him out, obviously those two guys out for the last week was tough, but our guys gave it a valiant effort, and again, only one team in the whole country can win their last game if you're in the NCAA tournament, and that's the goal for us, to be that last team standing at some point.
Long season, a lot of different moments. What would you consider your favorite moment of the year?
That's a great question. There were so many of them. I think just the fact that probably something I'll remember is senior night, with all those seniors, all 5 of them. How many wins have they had in their career? And with Isaac being here 5 years, how many wins has he had in 5 years? He was a part of 3 NCAA teams in his 5 years. And the other 4 seniors are a part of 2 terrific seasons, back-to-back 30-win seasons, 35 a year ago, 30 this year. So they really set a standard. And so that was one memory that will really, when I look back, that I'll look back fondly of senior night, just watching those kids play for the final regular season home game and then have a chance to, introduce and just give them a lot of kudos on their special night. So that's one night that I'll think highly of because, again, they had such a special part of what we've been able to accomplish here.
Nice for me to go up into the crowds after the games, talk to some of the guys that I played with, and see how proud they are of some of the things you and your program are accomplishing. Let's move on to next year. Got a solid nucleus coming back. Tanner Kretschmann coming in, Aaron Lean still here. You have some solid guys returning. They got a lot of minutes this year. What do you do to get started on a new year? When do you get started? And what do we need to look forward to on the floor, fans and everybody from the Dragons?
Well, we'll be different. Obviously, we lose some very talented seniors. I don't know if you're ever going to have a 5-man like an Isaac Sievely, but I do think we'll be, again, different, but we'll be fun to watch. And I think we'll have a very good basketball team. You have to stay healthy. You have to have a great off season. We'll start with our first team meeting as kids get back from spring break this week, and then we'll start to organize our skill development program and our lifting program, which our assistant coaches and Travis in the weight room do a wonderful job there. And so we'll really get started there. But again, it'll start from the top, and our captains will be Tanner Kretschmann and Aaron Lean, 2 really terrific basketball players, but terrific examples about who we want in our program, and that's a great start building block right there. But then you got guys like Matt Nelson. Matt Nelson, another guy that's been out most of the year, and he's coming back for his senior year.
Nice.
And so he will hopefully add a big piece of that. And then you've got Ayub, who will be back for his senior year, who is one of the more talented offensive players that we'll have. And so right there, that's 4 very good players, 3 seniors, 1 junior coming back. Obviously, you've got the Addison Parks player coming back, and we're looking forward to seeing his improvement. And then we've got a number of redshirt freshmen that we're really excited to see their development too. And then we've got a great recruiting class coming here. We got 5 freshmen coming in next year, and then hopefully we're not done yet recruiting, so maybe we'll we'll sprinkle in a transfer here or there too. So we've got, again, a good nucleus, and we're excited.
Well, sounds like a lot to look forward to. Coach, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks, John.
We've got a lot more coming up on Dragons Live, including recaps of all the winter season sports and a look ahead at the spring. Stay tuned.
Buffalo Wild Wings Team Up for Kids program is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Join us at buffalowildwings.com/giving.
We can do anything. Our motto is dedicated to quality and dedicated to you. And our latest focus has been, if you can dream it, we can do it. We customize everything. We can imagine anything, and we can create anything. We want to make sure that you're happy always. That's our main goal, and we want you to be proud of what we do and what you are putting out with your name on it.
Personal Touch Embroidery, Moorhead, Minnesota. Visit them online at ptemb.com.
Who has the fastest internet in America? You do. If you have MidcoNet Extreme Wideband from Mid-Continent, named America's fastest internet by PCMag.com. America's fastest internet. Lucky you. MidcoNet Extreme Wideband, only from Mid-Continent Communications.
Get everything Dragons in the palm of your hand with the MSUM Dragons mobile app. Available now for all your mobile devices. Get news, events, videos, tweets, and all the live coverage you crave simply and easily. Get the MSUM Dragons mobile app today or check out msumdragons.com/mobile app for more information.
Welcome back. Last show we were live at a Dragon basketball doubleheader and missed out on some Dragon standouts.
So let's dig right into our Courtyard by Marriott Athletes of the Week from the last 2 months.
January 25th through February 1st, Adam Blease and Sammy Duvall. Adam continued his solid collegiate debut for Dragon Wrestling with a 3-0 win over Augustana's Mitch Reichel at 165 pounds to account for one of the Dragons' 2 wins on the night. Battling an illness, Sammy won the 200 butterfly in 2:15.12, edging teammate Natalie Campa by 0.60 seconds in a race that helped give the Dragons momentum in their dual win over the Mavericks.
February 2nd through the 7th, Maria Morale, Kari Taro, and Andrew Work. Maria was 2-0 in singles in her Dragons debut and teamed up with Jade Goodyear Anderson for a 2-0 mark at #1 doubles. Andrew fired a season best of 55 feet, 8 1/4 inches to win. It was the 6th best throw in the NSIC at the time.
February 8th through the 14th, Isaac Novacek and Savannah Handovit. Isaac went 2-0 on the week as the Dragon wrestlers split a pair of home duels. Sav averaged 16 points and 11.5 rebounds per game for the week and helping the Dragons to a pair of double-digit wins over St. Cloud and Duluth.
February 15th through the 21st, Ryan Benoit and Drew Sanis. After battling injuries that sidelined him for the first 3 years of his Dragon career, Ryan persevered and worked his way back onto the basketball court this season, making his collegiate debut. He scored the first 3 points of his collegiate career in the win over Bemidji State. Drew had a strong weekend to help the Dragon women wrap up the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Division North title. She had a career high and school record 8 blocks to go with 14 points and 10 rebounds in a 74-58 win over Bemidji State, and followed with 17 points in a 75-69 win over Minnesota Crookston.
February 22nd through the 28th, Brady Spiker and Jessamy Jones. Brady picked up 2 titles, the first of his 2 collegiate career at the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Indoor Championships. With his 2 victories, Spiker finished in a tie for first as the top individual performer on the men's side. Jessamy went a perfect 2-0 at #1 singles and teamed up with senior Ashley Wood for a perfect 2-0 doubles record. Jones is now a team best 7-1 in singles this season and shares the team lead with 3 other players with a 6-2 doubles mark.
Now that we're all caught up with our athletes, let's recap the rest of winter sports, starting with Dragon swimming and diving. Sophomore Aaron Sullivan finished 13th in the 100 backstroke at the national meet and earned All-American consideration. Seniors Emily Piscavis and Jana Wanner each competed at the NCAA pre-qualifying diving meet. Dragons finished 6th at the NSISC Championships in February, and Piscavas was a 5-time NSISC Diver of the Week this season.
And to wrestling, junior Blake Bosch picked up his second straight All-American honor. Bosch finished 4th at 133 pounds at the NCAA Championships and finished with an overall 34-7 record. He also won the Super Region 3 title and earned all NSIC first team honors, going 8-0 in conference matches. The Dragons finished with an 8-7 record in duels, and they finished 2nd in the Virginian duels back in January.
On to track, 3 Dragons qualified for national indoor championships. Junior Brady Spiker in the mile and sophomore Brian Huber in the long jump each earned All-American honors. Senior Molly Montoni also qualified in the mile and finished 11th after battling injuries this season. Spiker won 2 NSIC indoor titles at conference meet to lead Dragons to a 4th place finish. Huber also won the long jump, while Josh Young won the mile at NSIC indoor. Alyssa Mears earned all NSIC honors at the 800 indoor conference meet.
The first day of spring was officially last Saturday, but we've already had the spring season underway for some time. So let's get caught up, starting with some Dragons softball.
They're currently 7-13, including a 3-game win streak. Their season began with 2 tournaments in West St. Paul Dome in February, going 4-4 combined. Then to sunny Florida for the next 10 games. They end the trip on a high note, winning 3 straight and hitting 24 runs in, including a big final game from Christy Bruni, who went bananas, 6 of 7 from the plate, 2 homers and 5 RBI. They faced Southwest last Thursday in their home and NSIC opener, dropping both games. Then 2 losses against Sioux Falls on Friday. Yesterday they traveled to Duluth, dropping the first but getting their first NSIC win by a score of 5-4 over the Bulldogs.
Dragon Tennis is 6-5 overall this season and started off hot with 4 straight wins, then dropping a pair on the road in Sioux Falls before redeeming those at home against the Mavericks and Mustangs the following weekend. Then Tennis also headed to Florida for 3 matches. One of those was exhibition. Unfortunately, all 3 resulted in losses. Finally, the Dragons met with Division I Northern Colorado and fell in their final home event of the season. As we just mentioned, Tennis is off to a solid start, but don't let their competitive edge fool you. There's a fun side to everyone. Let's see theirs in our teammate game.
It's like an alpaca.
A llama.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a goose.
A duck.
It's a really pink bird.
Flamingo.
Nay.
Horse. Yes.
There's tons of these on campus.
Squirrels.
Yes. It's the black and white bear.
Oh, panda.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's on Elf. It comes out of the water.
Narwhal.
Yes.
An
owl. It's lion. Yes. Okay. Easter.
Bunny.
Yes. Well,
rabbit.
Yes. Wow, this one's really hard. India, poisonous, giant lizard thing.
Cobra. Oh, Komodo dragon.
Yes. Oh.
This is Andy's favorite food.
Pasta, spaghetti.
No.
Coffee.
Breakfast.
Donut.
Yes. These are the squishy, the squirts.
Candy, gushers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's the really top of the line meat.
Steak.
Yes. You put this on potatoes.
Gravy.
Yes.
It's green. It has like this circle in the middle. It's a vegetable.
Avocado.
Yes. This is another Norwegian thing. It's like potato bread, but it's like flat.
Laka.
No. Close.
Lefse.
Yes. It is like chips with cheese.
Queso.
No, it's like
nachos.
What you call them. Yes. This is a giant thing of meat, and it comes in like a bread shape.
Stick around, you won't want to miss the Dragons Live Top 5 plays. That's next.
Around here, there's more than one way to live. And at Gate City Bank, there's more than one way to bank. We create banking to fit you. So whatever your way of life, we make it better. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life.
Get everything Dragons in the palm of your hand with the MSUM Dragons mobile app. Available now for all your mobile devices. Get the MSUM Dragons mobile app today or check out msumdragons.com/mobile app for more information.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. Our very own AD, Doug Peters, is always fired up about something. Let's see what he's working on in this week's Doug's Desk.
Hey, I'm fired up. You join me for this week's segment of Doug's Desk. I am in the dugout at the MSUM Dragons softball field, and I'm fired up because behind the scenes we're getting ready for our softball home opener this weekend. Encourage you to come out, cheer on the team on Friday and Saturday afternoon as we take on some NSIC foes. After a wonderful week in Florida where our team played very well, not only was our softball team in Florida, the golf team was in Arizona, and also the tennis team took a little trip down to Florida. I missed out on all that warm weather. Otherwise, behind the scenes, we're preparing for the MSUM Scholarship Gala. It's our signature fundraising event where we're raising scholarship money for students at MSUM. A portion of those proceeds go specifically to athletic scholarships as well as many other areas. That is on April 23rd, so mark your calendars. Hey, we're excited for the spring. We're excited, and I hope this doesn't jinx us. We're excited there's no snow on the ground, and we hope to see you at the games this weekend, our upcoming tennis matches, as well as the Scholarship Gala. Go Dragons!
Here we go. It's time for the Dragons Live Top 5.
At number 5, Isaac Sievely at the NSIC tournament, slamming it down over the University of Mary. Dragons would go on to win that one. Look at the extension and the two-hand slam right over the front of the rim. At number 4, men's basketball, winning the NSIC North Division title for the third straight year. Congratulations to Coach Walthall and the team on their accomplishment. At number 3, we've got women's basketball against the University of Minnesota Crookston. Final game of the year, NSIC turn around the line, and Cassidy Thorson comes up with the big steal, takes it in, gets it for 2 to go up 2 with just 33 seconds to go, clinching the NSIC title for the Dragon women. At number 2, we go to Dragon Wrestling and Blake Bosch, immediately following winning the NCAA Regional Championship. And his best fans in the stands, the Dragon men's basketball team, who is there to provide a little adrenaline boost for his regional championship victory. At number 1, Dragon women's basketball cutting down the nets for the first time since the 04-05 season. Congratulations, Coach and the Dragon women, on your NSIC championship. And that's your Dragons Live Top 5, brought to you by Valley Imports.
Finally, let's take a look at the upcoming events. Softball dominates the home schedule with 6 doubleheaders in April. Be sure to check out live coverage of all those games on MSUMDragons.com.
And golf will be hosting a spring tournament with Minot and Crookston as of right now before heading into the conference tournament.
Oof, that winter season sure was a roller coaster.
It sure was. A lot of fun basketball to watch. Wrestling, swimming and diving had an incredible year. Indoor track had a lot of standouts. It was a lot of proud moments to be a Dragon this year. I'm glad and excited to get moving on to some spring sports.
Oh, absolutely, and I think the best part is the people that we get to work with. We got some awesome athletes here.
They're great.
That's all for this episode of Dragons Live. For John Webking and our director, Alex Nelson, I'm Tommy Thompson. Have a good night, and go Dragons!